smell the fucking diesel on now, do they? How do they get after the emissions? I love that. How do they get after the emissions? Bastards.
building. It's a beautiful thing. It's about 400 metres long, so you wouldn't want to walk around it too much.
And it's the other side now, I understand. It's not where the old pit lane was, is that right?
No, it's the other end of the circuit. It's between Club and Abbey, so it's probably over a mile away from the old pits.
How long has this been in the planning? Was this planned before Bernie was so critical?
Yes, we've been planning this since about 2006, so it's been a long time in the coming. But obviously, when we had the uproar with Donington in 2008, then it went on hold. But now it's a reality.
So he won't be describing it as a country fair masquerading as a workplace event anymore?
I certainly hope he won't. You never know with Bernie.
Has he seen it?
He hasn't actually been here on the ground. I think he's flown over it. He says he's seen it.
What was his reaction to you?
No, he was very, he was telling us that it was a great thing, and he was very proud of us now, and he's proud of the circuit. So I think we're moving on, and hopefully the relationship with him is building.
How big is this MotoGP this weekend then? Because we were talking earlier to a correspondent who was reminding us it's been so long since we've had any British motorbike success. I think Barry Sheen was the last time, but nevertheless there'll be a full house, won't there, today?
Today the crowd will be pretty big. I mean, this is the third day now, so we've had pretty good crowds right through. Tomorrow's the big day, and we should have over 70,000 people here tomorrow, public people here tomorrow.
And without wishing to be unfair to the sport of MotoGP, does this allow you a good dress rehearsal for the forthcoming British Grand Prix in F1?
Well, they're different actually. So the setup for this and the setup for Grand Prix are very different. Yes, you get learnings from every event you do, but we're not using this as a dry run.
We're there on the Saturday for the Formula 1 Grand Prix. We're going to do weekend breakfast live from the new Silverstone, so you'll have to come and say hello.
I will indeed.
We'll keep an eye out for you. Richard Phillips, thank you for talking to us, Managing Director of Silverstone.
Now, Ferrari's Fernando Alonso posted the fastest time in second practice ahead of the Canadian Grand Prix in Montreal. Red Bull's Sebastian Vettel and Alonso's teammate Felipe Massa were second and third. Qualifying takes place there this evening, our time. Johnny Reynolds is news editor at F1 Racing magazine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Alonso's looking good.
Yes, he is. It's looking like it could be quite a good weekend for Ferrari, really. This is a circuit where aerodynamics are not favoured as strongly, and that's definitely going to work in Ferrari's favour this weekend.
So the circuit does play to their strengths, but it's a difficult course, and yesterday proved that 3 crashes and 2 red flags.
Yeah, it's a very different circuit to Monaco in a lot of ways, but in a few ways it's quite similar in that the barriers are very, very close to the edge of the circuit. Any mistake that you make will be punished, and usually with quite a big accident. We saw Sebastian Vettel having a big crash in the so-called Wall of Champions in first practice yesterday.
Now let's have a word about Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he won on the track in 2007 and last year, but it wasn't a good day for him, was it?
It wasn't an especially good day for Lewis. He picked up a puncture in the second session just as he was going out to set a few quick times on low fuel. But I mean, they showed reasonably good pace, the McLaren guys. I think there's a lot more to come from them. They've generally been very good, as you say, at the circuit in recent years, and they have both an excellent engine, the Mercedes, and a very good curve system. So straight line speed, which is so important here, is one of those strengths, and I expect them to do quite well.
Didn't he have no cockpit display as well? It's because there was an electronics problem in the steering column.
Yeah, he did have some problems with getting some data up on his steering wheel. Not a major problem, but it's one of these things that can, any problem is it can be difficult to work through. But I think there's still plenty of time for him to recover. We've still got another practice session, of course, qualifying this evening.
And a quick word before we go about the Bahrain fiasco. I mean, it was never going to go ahead.
It's really been a pretty embarrassing time for Formula One, really. I mean, the report from the governing body, the FIA, saying that life was back to normal was pretty farcical, really, because we've had human rights groups saying that there is still very difficult time out there. We've got several human rights abuses still reportedly taking place, and realistically, Formula One should never have been going there in the first place, whilst we've got problems.
Of course. Thanks very much for talking to us. That's Johnny Reynolds from F1 Racing magazine. Qualifying for the race is live on 5 Live. 6 tonight, same time for the race on Sunday, 6 o'clock. Live race commentary.
Here's Peter Gibbs.
Rain roulette again today, hit and miss showers I think across most parts of the UK, bit of sunshine in between. Some more persistent rain getting into some eastern parts of Scotland and the northeast of England. Not feeling too bad in the sunshine, but the temperature's generally a bit below par, the mid-teens for most, maybe just squeezing up to 19 in the southeast. Some wet and windy weather spreading into the southwest for many of us for tomorrow.
On digital and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. Hello, good morning, 8 o'clock Saturday morning. This is Weekend Breakfast on 5 Live. Phil Williams and Justine Green here in for Hannah Foster, and we're with you till 9.
And it's a rise Subaru. The light entertainment legend finally gets his light first.
But will it change any of his trademark catchphrases?
Oh, no, we will have it best on who'll be the first to say, nice to see you nice. And you're the first one today. So you have that grey honour, Phil, and if I use it at all, I'll give you a credit.
I'm Caroline Barker, and in sport, not one, but two Brits into the semi-finals at Queen's. James Ford marches on.
Baseline rally ends with Malorino putting his forehand into the net. The British number 2 has done it.
It's great for British tennis, and it's great to be involved with Andy in the semis as well.
Also this morning,
We've had exclusive access to the venues for the 2014 Commonwealth Games. The Minute will talk to the former wrestler from New Orleans who's in charge of the event.
and Prince Philip might be calming down as he turns 90, but it's business as usual. The Reverend Canon John Clayton, who turns 100 today. We'll talk to him before 9. You're with 5 Live from the BBC.
5 Live News this morning. Sir Bruce Forsyth has told Weekend Breakfast that his knighthood feels wonderful. His award is part of the Queen's birthday honours list, and he's over the moon.
I've had to keep it secret for the last few weeks. I think it was nearly a month ago I had the letter telling me about it. It's now a release to be able to, accept it and feel joyful and feel all the other things that one does feel when this happens to them.
The Governor of the Bank of England, Mervyn King, is now a Sir. Broadcaster Jenny Murray has been made a Dame. Who played a starring role in the King's speech, Colin Firth got a CBE, and the former EastEnders actress Brooke Kinsella has been given an MBE for her work fighting knife crime. The US has told Syria to stop using brutal violence against its own people. Attacks by government forces across the country are reported to have left around 30 people dead. Thousands have fled across the border into Turkey. Michael Wise is from the Henry Jackson Society, campaigning for human rights around the world.
The bulk of the evidence suggests that what the opposition has hoped for a long time now would happen is starting to slowly happen. That if defections are not on a mass scale, in the sense that it's not enough to actually kind of turn the tide against the regime, but it is beginning to happen.
2 people have been killed and another 2 seriously injured in a caravan fire near Avonmouth in North Wales. It happened in the early hours of this morning. An elderly woman and a young girl have been airlifted to hospital. The fellow Chancellor Ed Balls has criticised the Daily Telegraph for printing further details from his private papers. They include a document prepared by civil servants in 2006 urging spending restraint. The message saying, we've spent all the money, what did we spend it on? So suggesting that they knew at the time that they had been profligate, if you like, and the Conservatives are pointing to this as saying that they took a reckless approach to the economy. But Mr. Ball said that whoever is using these documents is doing so with clear political motives and misrepresenting their comments. That's our political correspondent, Louise Stewart. Labour have accused ministers of another U-turn after the government promised to review the amount of money to be cut from local authority budgets in England to help fund new academy schools. Local councils have threatened legal action as they were set to lose £400 million over 2 years. Greater Manchester Police are asking the public how to save money. The force needs to make cuts of £134 million over the next 4 years. Ideas could include taking more statements over the phone. Chris Burrows is from the Greater Manchester Police Federation.
On the position, we've actually been going through a wide-ranging review already within the organisation to decide where to make these savings. So I'm a bit surprised when they're now going out asking the public. It's probably a bit late, really. That review is due to report in sort of the end of this month, and unfortunately many people are probably going to find out they're going to lose jobs and police staff, so it's rather late now to be asking the public.
The Council of England have charged utility companies more than £30 million over the last 3 years for roadworks that have overrun. 33,000 incidents of work finishing late. The National Grid was the most frequent offender. Sport now, here's Caroline.
The fallout surrounding the departure of John Steele as RFU Chief Executive continues. Chairman Martin Thomas says Steele's indecision over appointing a performance director was where things started to go wrong. World number 216, James Ward, says he'll just have to play to his strengths and hope for the best when he takes on Joe Wilfried Songa in the semi-finals at Queen's Club later. Andy Murray plays Andy Roddick in the other semi. Full coverage here on 5 Live. Andrew Strauss says being awarded an OBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours motivates him to go on and achieve better things with England. Coach Andy Flower also receives an OBE, while Alistair Cook gets an MBE. Golfer Lee Westwood is also awarded an OBE with a knighthood for racehorse trainer Henry Cecil. And Lewis Hamilton is convinced Red Bull will not have it all their own way in qualifying, as he aims for a 4th Canadian Grand Prix pole. Third practice underway from 2:55 this afternoon. We can hear all the action on 5 Live Sports Extra.
Talented pets on Twitter. Bella Ale. My dog did my homework. Let's pet it. I'm taking it seriously. Disappointing. Stuart of Leeds on Twitter. My cat opened the fridge last night and ate a cooked chicken. I can believe that.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Eddie in North Nibley once saw a snake who could do maths. He wouldn't add a... Eddie, honestly. Steve in Luton, my friend had a snake that he used to drink the condensation from his car windows. Turned out it was a windscreen viper. Steve, not funny. Snow in the cash in London, just waiting for my owner to get up and feed me. Heard your piece about talented pets. Thought I'd text in. Last week I managed to strip a whole section of wallpaper. Says Snow in the cat.
See, they're good.
Wasting my time. 6 minutes past 8. Good morning. Justine Green and Phil Williams here with your weekend breakfast on 5 Live. And the Queen's Birthday Honours are out this morning. It's a case of night to see you night. Couldn't help myself. After more than 70 years in show business, it's finally arrived, Sir Bruce Forsyth.
Sorry, it's been like that all day. It really has. Thank you so much. Claire? Yes. Yes, I said it gives me a personal thrill to have appeared in 100 racing games. What's that? I've only done 99. Who's they talking? Oh, Roy Castle. That's right, Roy. You didn't. You stepped in. I'm so sorry. Yes. How nice of you to remind me. That's lovely of you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Roy. Bye-bye. Made my day there.
Well, I spoke to Bruce yesterday, and we reminisced about his career.
The show that gave me, well, the most pleasure to be associated with was the hour I did with Sammy Davis Jr. We sang together, we danced together, we did comedy together. I played piano for him when he sang, he played instruments when I sang, and it was an hour of absolute magic. It was one of those special shows. Never be able to do that again. Never a chance that I could find anybody to do that show again, because he was the perfect all-rounder. The only other person I could have done that kind of a show with was Roy Castle, bless his dear heart. And that's the only other person. So that was the special in my life. But all the other shows, the Generation Game, Play Your Cards Right, Price is Right, Strictly, I mean, they're all great shows that children have grown up with me for the last 53 years watching those shows, and this is why I'm a lucky man to have done those kind of shows and still be where I am today.
Almost everybody I know reckons they can do a Bruce Forsyth impression. How many times a day do people come up to you and try and do an impression of you to your face?
Well, you know, I've noticed Prince Philip, he was doing a bit of in between. I mean, people when they're doing impressions of me always do that, but I think a lot of them are doing an impression of Prince Philip, and they don't realise it.
Did you see that last night?
Oh, it was very good. He's a wonderful guy, and you see, what makes him do it, he does it, he really is not like me. See, I love talking about myself. I love talking about all that and what I want and who is dear to me and all that. He doesn't. He's a very private person. And I think people should realise that. But when you look back at his life, I mean, he's been on a tightrope the whole time. And I think he's a great man, a wonderful man. And I look up to him very much. You know, I'm 84, he's 90. I look up to him a lot. Those 6 years, you know, and he's weathered very well. I think he's got all these faculties about him. I enjoyed the programme very much. I thought it was wonderful.
Well, interestingly, it's taken him until 90 before he's decided to give up some of his tight patronages and some of his jobs. And obviously there's a perennial question about you and Strictly, which you must get bored with. So I would imagine if you like Prince Philip so much, you've got another 6 years at Strictly, have you, Bruce?
Oh, you never know. I've got another 6 years at Strictly. Has Strictly got another 6 years? I mean, we're in our 9th series now. We've done 8 years, but it's 9 years because we did 2 series the first year. So it's whether Strictly will last longer than me. I think it could be a race. Could be a photo finish, you know.
And what's your feeling on it?
What's my feeling on it? I think it's a great show. It will depend on how long they can keep celebrities. I mean, it's asking a lot for a celebrity to come up, give up practically their whole life for nearly 3 months if they get to the final and give it all up just for dancing. And have we got that amount of celebrities in the country who are interesting enough and can adapt to dancing in the way they have to for Strictly?
Sir Bruce Forsyth talking to us yesterday. We'll put the full version of that on the website for you a bit later on this morning. You'll be able to hear the full interview that we did with him. Got about 10 minutes yesterday with him. bbc.co.uk/5live. Click on Best Bits. Some other people recognised on the Queen's birthday honours list this morning. CBEs to Brian Ferry and Colin Firth. OBEs for Tim Brooke Taylor and Graham Garden. Bernard Cribbins, Andrew Strauss, and the England cricket coach Andy Flower and Lee Westwood all picking up OBEs. Another cricketer, Alistair Cook, gets an MBE alongside 2 Olympic hopefuls, Jessica Ennis and Philip Stone.
Now, someone else being honoured today is Princess Campbell, the first black mental health ward sister in Bristol. She's been nominated for an MBE for her services to the community in the city. Good morning.
Good morning.
Congratulations, you must be delighted.
Very much so.
Were you surprised when you found out the news?
Yes, I was surprised, and I felt very proud to accept my award. And not only that, I was also so proud I was very proud when I realized that my work that I have done, it is a lifetime work towards challenging inequalities and representing disadvantaged groups and presenting solid disadvantaged people being recognized, and whatever I have done, it has made a difference to so many people's lives. That gave me a sense of purpose and achievement.
Take us back to when you first started in nursing. I mean, what sort of problems did you face?
Well, I faced racism.
In what way?
Well, I worked alongside white and black nurses, and at the end of near the end of my training, the older nurses would say to me, oh, they know I was ambitious, and they'd say, you'll have to leave here because you won't get any promotion because all the other black girls that were trained there have never been promoted. And I thought, well, I'm going to see the principal tutor. So I asked for an interview. I said, can you tell me the truth? Why aren't there any black nurses in this hospital, black ward sisters in this hospital? He said, I'll tell you the truth. The white nurses will not work under white. The white nurses will not work under a black ward system.
Did you find that to be the case as you started progressing?
No, because I've got a personality which allows me to get on with people, regardless of age or color. And all the nurses here treated me with a great respect, and they showed love, and they cooperated with anything I wanted to do to improve the standards of nursing. So I know that was not true. But then again, my instincts, my basic instincts, which is my self-esteem and my and determination, went into overdrive. And I said, well, I'm not going to leave here. I'm going to stay here and sort it out and see if I can change things. And these are the things I use as a role model. I am a role model, and I go around to the academies and I talk to children and show them and tell them about expectation in life and tell them whenever there's a problem, do not run away. Put it in the cranium in your brain box and see what you can do. See what you can do to change things, better things. And I use my experiences in my talk to children. So, as I said, everything went into overdrive, and I decided, well, I'm going to prove that I have the ability to do my nursing job. And I stayed there, And when the time came up for me to be promoted, I went for my interview with another nurse, and the General Nursing Council, you cannot call yourself a nurse until your number comes through. Her number hadn't come through as yet, but because she was white, she got the job, and I was put aside. But the other nurses, other ward sisters, didn't agree with it, and they started to grumble to a degree that it went back to the nursing office, who called me and apologized for the decision that they made. And they said, well, when the next vacancy come up, the job is mine, I just apply for it, because I filled all the blanks that was there.
Well, your ambition and your determination certainly got you through, and you led the way, and many more have followed. You must be very proud. You must also be very proud that your uniform is now going to be exhibited at a new Bristol museum.
Yes, and don't forget this, a